So today we are working on the trunk and fuel door levers for a Lexus GS300. I think this fits multiple Lexuses. I think like the SC300, 400, GS300, 400, and 430, if I'm not mistaken. I looked up an eBay listing for the part because I was going to order a new one, and they're only like 50 bucks, but I'm like, you see how these things broke, and when you lift the lever now, it comes up out of that plastic because the plastic piece that holds this down broke off, and you can see the other side over here starting to crack. Well, I don't want to just buy another factory part to have it do the same thing, so I'm going to repair it like everything else. So I think we're going to do a piece of sheet metal here, and we're going to drill a hole in it so this pin gets stuck on the end of it, and then I'm going to wrap it over and stop it here. And then we're going to do another piece that actually sits in this groove and goes over top of this pin so it cannot come out up or in. And basically same thing as the other side here. I'm going to run a piece up and basically fold it right over the top here and use that to hold this pin in. And we'll see how that... Here's where the switch goes. I'm sure you've seen your dash. What I ended up doing was I actually just cut a piece out of a fender that I had and cut little slots in there, and it actually fixed both buttons. Now my key lock is also broke. So in order for this switch to work, it has to have continuity through your lock cylinder and back in, which is why I have these tied together. And then you plug your trunk button in and everything works fine. So now I've actually got fully functioning switches, and it just cost me a piece of sheet metal and 2 wood screws, and nobody should know the wiser, and everything should work great. The whole locking the trunk probably useful, but I mean, I would never lock it. So yep, all I did was wrap the sheet metal around and just bent it as I went, kind of eyeballed it. And the reason I used those wood screws wasn't really for the purpose of being cheap, but they actually run all the way down inside that plastic, so it gets a lot of bite. So that just worked out better for me, and they happen to be on hand. So sheet metal stays, everything works, buttons are functional, and those are tied together, and I'm going to throw some solder on that and some heat shrink, and this thing should be back to working again.